Retention is the key to a long, healthy business. I truly believe that. Guys, if you don't know me, my name is Omir Block, and for the last 5.5 years, I've been working as a remote contractor before starting my business about 2.5, 3 years ago. And I remember back in 2016 when I first worked for my real first corporate job, which was selling cars at Toyota. And when I started working there, I was not very good at selling cars and I had to learn everything. And I remember dealing with some of the most savage, degenerate people I've ever worked with in my life. But you know what? I let it happen. I was about 21 years old, trying to figure out life. I was working with one of my best friends. And I remember one day, probably in my second or third month, coming to work and 3 of the managers left. They quit. And I thought that was the weirdest thing ever because I've never seen that. Yeah, sometimes managers leave. Sometimes, employees leave or get another job. But I've never seen 3 managers in one day leave. And I thought to myself, something is off here. The corporate world doesn't seem like my route, but I need to figure out whether if I work for a company or I start my own company, how do I retain people? How do I retain some of the best talent? Because the people that left, I built relationships with. I remember losing faith in the company. We're talking about one of the biggest dealerships in Georgia. And me, not just me, but all the salespeople, we're talking about over 20, 30 sales people that started losing faith in the company because the managers and our upline and people that were training us and putting so much time and effort into us just left abruptly. I'll never forget that. So the other day I was watching a video and the stat that I'm about to tell you guys blew my fucking mind. I've never heard this. I didn't know this. Nintendo has a 98.8% retention. Let me say that again because that is insanity. Nintendo, which is a multi-billion-dollar corporation that has been around for decades, has a 98.8% retention. That is insane. That's insane. That's incredible. That's fascinating. That's marvelous. I don't have words to describe that. And let me take it one step further. One of the games that Nintendo creates is called Zelda. It's a franchise that's been around for over 30 years. The people that worked on the very first Zelda game are still there today. They have 100% retention from the people that started Zelda. What does that tell you? Well, I'll tell you what it tells me. It tells me that when the company has the right culture, the right movement, the right mission, the right values, hires the right people, the right leadership, people are going to stay. Why would anybody leave for another opportunity when they're genuinely happy, they're growing, they're getting paid better over time, they have bonuses, they have incentives, they have opportunities to be leaders, they have opportunities to be managers, they have free time, they have vacation days. Why in the hell would anybody ever leave? Let me tell you something, they won't. The number one reason people leave, and I see this all the time because we've hired hundreds, almost 1,000 people in the last couple of years, is because of lack of growth. Lack of growth in the position they're in. They're doing the same thing over and over again. Lack of growth in pay. No bonuses, no incentives, no paid vacations. The company is just using them as literal slaves. And they want an opportunity where they can have their voice be heard. They want to feel appreciated. Obviously, they want to get paid. They want bonuses. They want vacation days. Guys, it is actually not that hard to keep the right people around. It is not hard to have regular meetings. It is not hard to hold people accountable. What is hard is finding the right people. What is hard is going through the pre-qualification, vetting, interviewing, skill testing, onboarding. That is hard. And you know what's also hard? Keeping them. But you know what is not hard? The daily meetings, holding people accountable, making sure you have KPIs. That's just creating systems, guys. If that is what's hard for you, you might not be good at running a business. You might not be the right person to invest into a business because you have to be obsessed with people and systems and making sure that everything works as efficiently as possible. And guys, I am not a system wizard. I'm still learning how to automate a lot of stuff and systemize the company. Believe it or not, I built a multi-6-figure, almost a 7-figure business purely off of people and little to no systems. And we are finally last year have invested tons and tons of capital and mentorship into helping us grow systems, and finally hired system operators, because at the beginning, I was just not aware of that. I didn't realize how important systems were. I've built and I've been a part of companies that were scaling to millions of dollars, not having really the best systems in the world. So I thought to myself, I can probably do that too. So the point I'm trying to make is this: retention is one of the most important factors in the business. I always like to say, show me how much your boss is paying his employees and how long they've been with them, and I'll tell you the kind of leader and employer and boss, jefe, he is, right? When I see high turnover rate from employers and businessmen, when I see high turnover rate from companies, from small businesses that are doing less than $10 million, you know what that tells me? It tells me that they do not know what the hell they're doing. Whether it's from the business aspect, from the recruiting, hiring aspect, from leading aspect, something is wrong. As a small business, you should never have high turnover rate. Now, if you're struggling with certain positions like cold calling, understood to a certain degree, you should still have cold callers there that have been with you from the start and can grow and develop and help you become the leaders. But if you're not even figuring out how to have a video editor with you for a long period of time, or an appointment setter, or an account manager, or whatever industry you're in, let me tell you something. You've got to change your habits in the business. You've got to change how you're systemizing things. You've got to change how you're leading, because at the end of the day, retention boils down to your leadership capabilities and the system opportunities and the system the person has, right? When you're a great leader, you're going to give people an opportunity. You're going to raise people's pay. You're going to make sure they're taken care of. You're going to make sure that they have the resources they need in order to level up. All people want is an opportunity to level up. That's all they want. Make more money, be taken care of, be able to go on vacations, right? Be proud of their work, show up and be around people they genuinely like. Maybe they're not obsessed with what they're doing, but at least they like what they're doing. At least they like who they're working with. At least they respect and appreciate and hopefully like the people above them in terms of the leaders or CEO, whoever it is. Because I don't know about you guys, but I've worked toxic jobs, and it wasn't not just the job that I was selling cars with Toyota, but I've worked toxic jobs. I've worked with toxic people, and it ruins the entire department. It ruins companies, right? It ruins so much of what I wake up towards and have to go towards. And then I don't want to be there. And I know this is not just me. I know this is every single person in the world, right? I've interviewed hundreds, if not thousands of people in the last 5 years. And many of them tell me how they felt stuck in their job. They felt unappreciated. They felt disrespected. They felt like people were overlooking their skill sets. They felt like they were not being heard. Right? This is why it's so important to have regular meetings with your team, to have regular meetings with your leadership, to over-communicate on Slack, to over-communicate on whatever platform you're using, to make sure everybody's aligned, make sure everybody's on the same page, make sure the core values are right there and then. Make sure people are treated not just with respect, but with dignity. You genuinely want what's best for them. You don't want what's best for you. You want what's best for them. I absolutely love this quote, and I live and die by this, but I truly believe that if you help others get what they want, you will get anything you want back. If you will help others get what they want, you will get everything you want back. And I am the living testament for that. Right? From helping hundreds of people get jobs, from helping hundreds of people learn sales, from helping hundreds of agencies scale, from helping hundreds of investors now, which is our niche for the last couple of years, scale their business, right? Myself and our partner, we have been working our asses off to make sure that investors or agencies, whoever we are whoever's in our proximity, they have a chance, right? They have a chance to improve and get better. And because of that, we get everything we want back. I live in Medellin in a beautiful penthouse with my best friends. I have a daily chef, daily maid. Life is good. I did not have this life 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Definitely have this life 5 years ago. I came from absolutely nothing, right? My parents don't come from wealth. Thankfully, my parents gave me everything I needed to get where I am today, but they're not businessmen. They didn't invest in me in terms of making me learn business. So guess what? They gave me everything I needed to get here, and I appreciate them. And I knew that in order for me to get rich, in order for me to make my dreams come true, I've got to help other people. I've got to put others first, right? I've got to retain the team members that are helping me every single day, that are showing up, that are staying late hours, that are creating content, that are going out of their way to help their company grow. I'm doing everything in my power to do that. Whenever someone hits 1 year, whenever someone hits 2 years, this year we'll have a couple of people here 3 years with us. That to me is a flex, right? It's not just a flex making more money and revenue. Of course, everybody wants to do that. But my flex is when I talk to other people and I tell them how long I've had my remote team members for. When what impresses me as a business owner, as someone that is growing a recruiting company, is when I talk to other businesses that have had people with them for 5 years, for 10 years. I mean, some of the people I have in our clientele list, they have had people from the second you can work remote with a computer back in the late 2000s. They literally have VAs still working for them today. I'm like, that is what I want. So when I read that from Nintendo, when I read that from Zelda, I thought to myself, well, holy shit, not only do I love Nintendo, not only do I love Zelda, well, I have a profound respect for them that I never thought I would have for a video game company. Never, ever in my life. And I love video games. I still game today. And if there's any lesson for you today out of everything that I discussed, I want you guys to take one thing in. If you're building a business remotely and you're hiring talent, whether it's through us, whether it's on your own, whether it's through referrals, it is your duty to keep people long-term. It is your duty to do everything in your power to hire the right people the first time. It is your duty to make sure they're getting paid and they're happy with the job, that they have opportunity to grow, that they're training other people, that they're managing people, and that they're every single day they're getting challenged and they're learning something. Because if that's not the case, they're going to leave you and you're going to have a business collapse and have absolutely nothing for them to do. And who wants that? Nobody wants that. You got into business to take care of yourself, to be able to potentially work remote, to travel the world, to get rich, to give back to charities, to take care of your family, take care of your kids. You did not get into business, right? You did not get into business to just get into business and have another job. You got into business because you want to thrive and you want to do better than other people. And in order for that to happen, you got to make sure other people's life come first, especially the people that have been with you from day one, especially people that have your back, especially the people that will do whatever it takes for your company to grow and develop and give you the best authority in the game. So guys, the last thing I'll say is if you are looking to hire remote talent, whether it is an appointment setter, a cold caller, graphic designer, video editor, an automations expert, sales rep, account manager, client success, Remote Latinos has done all of that and more. So head over to remotelatinos.com, book a call with my company. We'll reach out to you and we will show you exactly what we've been able to do for hundreds of other clients and how we've been able to hire almost 1,000 people in the last few years. And we're just getting started. Would love to work with you if you are a competent business owner that's growing. If not, no worries. Maybe in the future we can partner up. I appreciate you watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe, share it, and I'll see you on the other side.